What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at an old favorite. This is one of those games that I firmly believe is probably one of the best dungeon crawling RPGs on Steam today if you're looking for something that just has a ridiculous amount of depth to it, but also holds true to sort of a roguelike formula that I think is very intoxicating. So the roguelikes that tend to really work for me personally as a game player are the ones that have a prevailing meta that exists in between runs, and that every single time you beat the game, so a lot of roguelikes kind of like mess this up. And so a lot of roguelikes have too much randomness. There's no way to account for it all, and you just kind of die randomly. This is one of those games where that is not the case, where the knowledge that you glean as you go through the game is actually helpful, and you will learn a lot of useful things as you play the game, so you can feel your skill cap going up as you play it more and more and more. And the title of the game is Barony. You are an adventurer in Barony, and you're diving down deep into a dungeon of a city that used to be run by a mad baron who completely and totally post-apocalypted the place. He was researching dark magic and all kinds of other crazy stuff down inside of here, and no one comes here because no one ever comes back when they go down inside of this place. And you are hopefully the last adventurer to go down in there to figure out the secrets of the realm and then come back up to the surface and tell everybody else exactly what it is that you've accomplished. On the surface level, this is a really simple game. The entire point of it is to dungeon crawl your way through this sprawling sort of, I guess, procedural dungeon, and you've got to find this hatch right here to go down to the next floor. That's it, but as with all things in the roguelike genre, that's very quickly going to get more complicated, and we'll talk about why as we record this video. So today we're going to play for about 30 minutes. I'm going to introduce you to the core gameplay precepts of the title. Hopefully it becomes something that is as addictive to you as it is for me, and then I'll leave a link down below just in case you wanted to check the game out. This game is not in early access. Oh god, it's a mimic run. This game is not in early access. This game is completely and totally released, and the cool thing about it is the developers have continued to just work on the game as time goes along. I think the game is up to, like, as far as version numbers go now, I think it's in like 4.0 or something like that. So it's very clear that the creators of this game like what they're working on. They enjoy it, they find it to be addictive, they believe in the project that they're working on, and they just keep adding more things to it. This mimic is really not letting me get out of here, and if I run into a dead end, I'm absolutely gonna die. So this is a game that comes chock-a-block with many different classes, many different races, all of which sort of shift the goalposts around for how you're going to end up playing the game. So for example, you can be a succubus in this game, and your entire gameplay strategy is going to be putting charm spells on people and forcing them to follow you around and fight on your behalf, and you're not really going to be doing a lot of that fighting on your own. Alternatively, you can play as something really simple, like a barbarian, where the entire point of the game is just to run up on the enemy, smash it in the face, and eliminate it as fast as possible. However, when it comes to playing the barbarian, there is a catch there as well. You are incredibly stupid and imperceptive, which ties into some other mechanics that are actually kind of vital for you to make your way through the game, and that's what I mean by the game has a meta. So for a barbarian, you very much in the early game want to find yourself, okay, we need to get out of here, and we need to get out of here like as soon as possible. I'm just gonna go down the hatch because this mimic is really becoming a pain in my butt wrinkles. This floor right here has a Minotaur mod, which I was hoping we wouldn't get during the course of this video, but we found a Daedalus shrine nice and early. So the basic idea of a Minotaur level is that you have X amount of time to get out of the dungeon, and if you don't get out of the dungeon by the time the Minotaur gets here, he can bulldoze through walls and he's just gonna annihilate you. And so the Minotaur is tracking us right now and trying to find us. But I think since we've already found the Daedalus Shrine's a new thing that they've added with this most recent patch, I think. I don't think I've seen the Daedalus Shrine in previous patches. It tells you where the exit is, and it only seems to exist on Minotaur levels, which I find to be really, really helpful because the game is procedural, which means, oh nice, we found a friend. Cyrus, so we've got some backup now. I'm just gonna pick up as much loot as I can because these Minotaur levels in addition to being very, very deadly, they also force you to move through the level very rapidly, which means that you're missing out on XP, you're missing out on upgrades, you're missing out on loot that you're going to be finding down in here to make your character more efficient at adventuring. And so I'm going to try to scoop everything I possibly can before he gets here, because we already know where the exit is at, but we don't want to get ourselves way too far off the mark and unable to get back over there, just in case he arrives a little bit earlier than expected. There is a shop on this map, but given the fact that we're currently being tracked and chased, I don't think it's a good idea for us to spend a whole bunch of time going through shop inventories and stuff like that, because that means that the time is not going to stop while we're doing that, and there's a solid chance that he's going to run up behind us. And for having big clip-cloppy hooves, Minotaurs can be shockingly deadly and good at sneaking around. So let's just ignore the shop for right now. I'm going to break a few more of these carts, hopefully pull a few more things out. I'm actually pretty low on food right now, and I would like to get more of that food. That's a branching path inside the dungeon right there. That takes you to the gnome mines, unless you're... So, the gnome mines are kind of a gamble, because the gnome mines are typically way too difficult for an adventurer of this level. Like, you're probably going to get bushwhacked pretty hard, but sometimes it will work out. So you're kind of hedging your bets with your own safety as to whether or not you want to go down in there, and we're not going to do that for right now. I'm going to go in here. I am wielding a torch in my offhand. The reason for that is that I'm recording a video right now, and this game is very, very dark. I do start out with a shield on account of the fact that I'm playing a cleric. You may have noticed that I almost always play a cleric whenever I feature this game, and there is a logical reason for that as well. I almost always play a cleric because a cleric allows you to do a little bit of everything. For the context of this title, the cleric is the jack-of-all-trades class. They can kind of easily spec into just about everything, from magic to melee to the ability to sneak around and do some roguey things. They can do a little bit of everything, which allows you to pivot and focus on things that end up being the most useful to you while you're down inside the dungeon. And so, ooh, lots and lots of Skeletors in here, huh? All right, I'll get you. I'll get you. But I typically play a cleric when I feature this game, because then I don't have to explain to you the entire subclass that I'm currently playing, which some of them can be really complicated and require a lot of knowledge about the game for it to be really apparent what it is that I'm doing, and it just saves me a lot of exploration time. When you're playing as the cleric, you've got some very lightweight magic skills, you've got some very lightweight melee skills, you've got some very lightweight appraisal skills. All of those things basically just make the video go smoother so that I can show things off. But talking about the UI, we've got our XP at the top center of the screen right there. Leveling up, you're going to get a random assortment. Hey, the fountain blesses a piece of my equipment. What did it bless? Ah, dude, it blessed my torch. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Don't want that. This is the inventory screen right here. As you level up, you're going to get random stats that get added on to your baseline attributes. All of your stats do stuff. Strength makes you fight better. Intellect makes you cast better and gives you... Oh my god, I got attacked by a skeleton. There we go. Killed him, and it looks like... Did he break something on me? It sounded like he broke something on me. He might have. You might notice that it's identifying my equipment right now. That ties into my perception and my ability to go through and figure out what things are. So as with a lot of games of this type, you've got to identify stuff before you know that it's going to be useful. And it's actually time that I should probably clean out my inventory, because I'm carrying around way too much garbage with me right now. And after allowing my equipment to identify for a little bit, we do have an appraisal skill. So this game uses Skyrim Bethesda rules, where the more you use a skill, the more it levels up. And the appraisal just happens on its own. You don't have to do that. There are things like identify scrolls that you can get that you can target what you want to identify, because there are some items in this game that require effectively maxed out appraisal skills in order to figure out if they have value or not. It sucks that we got a cursed spellbook, a force bolt. I would like to learn it, but I don't remember what happens if you learn from a... It's been a while since I played the game last, but we did get a Ring of Adornment that gives us +3 to Charisma and +2 to our armor class. That's giving us the equivalent armor class bonus of an iron helmet, just in ring form, and you do have to pay attention to weight in this game. Both your inventory and the weight on your character are both calculated for your move speed and stuff like that. We have a bandit mask over here. Bandit masks allow you to rob shopkeepers, if that's what you want to do. I probably won't. Oh, we've got a blessed. Nice, read that. I would like to learn Force Bolt. Having a ranged spell would be incredibly, incredibly useful. There's a troll over here. I can see if I can blast him with Force Bolts. Killing trolls early is usually a pretty good idea because trolls give you the equivalent of an instant level up if you can take them down. There we go. And so we got ourselves our level up right there. And because we're low on levels at the moment, that's actually a really good gamble. So when we see trolls, we're going to try to take them out. This adventurer that was with us, Cyrus or whatever his name was, he unfortunately died, but I'm going to pick up all of his equipment because he tried to fight the troll. Doesn't work out too well, but we've got another cleric over here that's willing to join our party, and we've got an adventurer inside of there that I accidentally just killed by activating the wrong switch. Oopsie. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry, buddy. I wish that you were alive because I'm playing a human right now. That means that other humans can join my party. You can see their health bars in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You can also give them rough orders for what you want them to do as you're going through the dungeon. But frankly, I just use them as meat shields for the most part. A swirly potion. One of the big additions of this patch is that they've added 400 new rooms to the game. So you're not going to recognize things sometimes, especially if you're a long-term player like I am, who's been playing since the infancy. Please don't be a mimic. Okay, it's not a mimic, but I don't have a lockpick. We got a cursed potion of confusion right there. I could technically throw that at somebody if I wanted to. We got some leather boots right there, which I will put on. We did get a tomahawk. One thing you'll learn about this game's meta is that you should carry around a lot of ranged weapons. Ranged weapons are incredibly useful. And so just make sure that you've got a nice stockpile of ranged weapons because I promise they will become useful at some point. And this goes universally for every single class. You should be hoarding all of your ranged stuff like crazy. Like if you get staves of firebolt or staves of whatever, you should hold on to those. He's fighting the troll. That's unfortunate. I'm fumbling my spells a lot right now because I'm not very good at casting. And I've kind of got to work on that. I don't want my tomahawk. That's locked. Unfortunate. I don't want my tomahawk. I'm going to loot all of his stuff. I need this troll to go away, but I don't really have the mana to deal with him right now. And we definitely don't want to be anywhere near or close to him. Let's just carry on. Do I have any torches around? I need to loot some torches off the walls or find a lantern or something. I can't see worth a damn right now. There's a torch. One that I don't think the dungeon will particularly miss. We are hungry right now. That means I gotta eat. Unfortunately, I only had stale bread. There's a chance that'll backfire and make me throw up. But it looks like we got away with it. We are appraising things right now, which is nice. I need to get my appraisal levels up nice and high so that we can start identifying gems and just sort of like hoarding those for when we get to shopkeepers. I'm going to try to get all the way through this dungeon and every single corner of it because we missed out on that one dungeon due to the fact that we got a Minotaur dungeon, and so like, I'm trying to make up for lost ground right now, but I can't say how well that's going to go. Once we get to the next floor, the unfortunate truth that we have to contend with is that I've gotten a water-breathing amulet, and I've also gotten a flawless ring of adornment. That's good, but I'm going to need a cloak of magic. I'm going to need something with magic reflection on it, because on the next floor, the enemy is going to be able to throw spells at us, and there's not a lot of defenses for spells in this game, except for reflection and protection stuff. Anything that says magic protection or magic reflection, hold on to that like a gremlin, because it's going to be really, really vital for keeping yourself alive over the long term. I've been slowed, unfortunately, by the spider, but let's go down to the next dungeon floor. I think this is going to be the final dungeon floor of this biome. Can I look at rough gems yet? I can't identify rough gems yet, which is sort of... Spider! Am I poisoned? He didn't poison me, so that's good. Could have gone worse. I don't have any poison protection amulets or anything right now, and so I like to have those when I fight poisoning stuff, but looks like we got away with it based on the loving, tender care of just RNG. But added in this patch, there's a whole new race of enemies that do new things. There's 400 new rooms that can come up procedurally while you're going through the title. There's also breakables everywhere now, just so you can get that Link's Awakening feeling of breaking open pots and carts and clutter and things of that nature that are all over the dungeon, just to make things feel a little bit more alive and lived in, which I think is a good addition. Oh my god. Ambushes are a new thing that was added to the game with this patch as well. So you may have noticed when I walked past that crate, a rat busted out of it and attacked me. That's the second part of the breakable objects that they've added around. Oh, there's bats up above. Come on. Oh, I've got to get better at casting, dude. The bat is now aware of us. Unfortunately, bats are really dodgy. They have an innate chance to negate your next attack, and they put bleeds on you. I think those... Hey, adventurer. Nice. He's got cool facial hair, too, so hopefully this guy lives for a little while. And let's go over here. There's a fountain. I will always gamble on a fountain. We got refreshed by the water. I think that gives you HP back. But I would have preferred something that blesses my equipment. One of the big strategies in this game is to get as many enchantment scrolls and as many enchantment utilities as possible, and keep enchanting the exact same piece of gear until it becomes god tier and can one-shot everything in the entire game. Very satisfying when you manage to pull it off. I've heard legend of some people getting their enchantments up to 22, 23, plus 24 over the course of an adventure, which is just insane to me because I've never achieved that. I've played the game a whole bunch, and I think the best I've ever done is something paltry like plus 10. There you go, a couple more bats down. Let's keep on dungeon crawling around and seeing what the game has for us, because once again, we're making up for lost ground on that floor that we missed out on. A serviceable torch right there. We haven't found any of the really fun items yet that can change around the way your game plays. This game does have legendary items. There will also be legendary bosses and stuff that show up randomly inside the dungeon. You will learn the names of them, and you will learn to fear them. I can tell you that. I've got a gem over here. I'll pick it up, but we can't identify gems yet, so not really that helpful of an acquisition. However, that meat right there that we got off that rat is going to be super helpful. I'm going to break down this wall just to make a path, and I think we've been just about everywhere in here. Another Spidarian. A little bit of gold and cash inside of there, but I don't want to have too much gold on me because it weighs you down as you go through the game. I can already feel that my character is really, really heavy. Ooh, a pickaxe. Pickaxe helpful. So if you ever see a pickaxe or you see a scroll or a wand or staff of digging, keep it. It allows you to destroy walls. And sometimes with the dungeon layouts that you get, you're going to need to destroy a wall. Not necessarily to make it to the end of the level. Instead, it'll just give you a viable option in case you get in over your head and something bad happens. We have a light spell right there. That's really nice. I'll take the light spell and throw that out. We've got opening. That's also really, really useful. So our spellbook is starting to develop right now, and we're starting to get a few different spells that we can play around with for moving our way through the dungeon, which is going to be good. A character like ours, being a jack of all trades, the big banger spells are usually going to be outside of our reach. But a serviceable bronze axe, I'll take that in case my mace breaks. Ah, it's cursed. Bummer. Alright, let's throw that out, and inventory's been cleaned up a little bit. I do have some resources to fall back on just in case I need it, like health potions, but only having one food is the thing that has me worried right now, because it's very possible to starve to death in this game if you just don't find enough food. We've killed a lot of rats, and usually rats are the means by which I get my food stockpiled early on in the game, so that I just have a lot of it. Boots, okay, gloves, all right, I'll take those. A little bit more cheddar laying around on the ground, a little bit of that clinky clacky gold, and then I think I'm just gonna make my way to the exit, I guess. How did you get in here? I spawned in here. How are you even in here? I'm not going to question it too much. The mobs do wander around a lot, and they will investigate. The game does have a stealth system implemented that works pretty well. The stealth classes are pretty fun. Playing the ninja or playing the rogue, it definitely feels like you need to pick and choose your battles, but it also feels like you've got escape routes if things go really catastrophically wrong. And it looks like this area doesn't really have anything inside of it, so The only gate that I don't seem to have gotten into is this one right here, which leads to like a big vestibule. I can see a cape laying inside of there, but it's just as likely to be cursed as it is to be helpful. So I'm going to ignore it completely. This right here is the transition zone. You are not safe in here. Be careful. I have seen these become mimics from time to time. We did get a staff, though. Hopefully it's something good. A staff of light. Not really what I want. We did get some blessed boots, though, so that's pretty cool. I'll put those on because it raises up my dexterity. Hoarding does serve a natural function in this game. Your equipment can be destroyed by guys that have acid and things of that nature. If you've ever played a roguelike before, you know what you're getting into. I'll take you, I guess. I don't think that I can identify gems yet, though. I'm getting there. I'm at like 30, and I think we have to be at 50 or so before I can identify stuff like this. If I find a jeweler down in the dungeon, we should be able to make a bunch of money and maybe trade up our gear. But I've never found the merchants to be really consistent in this game for supplying things that I need. I see spiders over there. Somebody just triggered a boulder trap. Boulder traps are instant death in this game, so watch out for them. We've got a water slime over there. I'm going to go for the water slime. I don't know if I'm strong enough, though, to actually take him down. Okay, slime's down. We did get a strength upgrade on that fight, so that's really good, and it looks like the exit is right there next to where we came out. Still, we'll want to be careful inside of here and just make sure we don't run into anything nasty. It says readme, huh? We found the readme file of the dungeon. Takes me back to my DOS days. Got that right there. Watch out, it could be very difficult to see boulders inside of this dungeon. If you find that the dungeon is too dark, specialize in stealth. As your stealth levels up, it makes the dungeon brighter and brighter and brighter, thus making navigation and figuring out where you're going a lot easier, and also taking away the necessity of having a torch in your hand the entire time. I'm going to try not to swim. We're not playing an automaton right now. If you're playing as a robot, you never, ever, ever want to go in water. That doesn't work out for you. The fountain blesses a piece of your equipment. Did it bless something good? Looks like it blessed our breastplate, maybe. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know what all my enchantments were at, but it does it randomly. Yeah, I'm going to need some backup over here. Otherwise, this guy's going to mess me up. Those slimes aren't super deadly, but they can be a little bit of a hassle. They, like, push you around. They're a much bigger threat to an automaton, for example, than they are to me, because automatons can't go in water. Bad things happen when automatons go in water. But for me personally, it's not that big of a deal. It's mostly just an HP drain, and each hit has a chance of lowering the durability of my equipment. So, like, there's a chance that I'm getting my equipment broken each time they do it. A little bit of health right there. Okay. We got refreshed for 5 HP. I'll take it. I've got a bunch of healing potions inside my inventory right now, so it's not too bad of a situation if I have low HP. But it is a situation I'd rather avoid. Rolf leveled up, so that's good. What's that, a towel? Towels, they get rid of greasiness, which is a status effect, and they also get rid of bleeding, which is a status effect that you can pick up around. Typically, I don't find bleeding to be that big of a problem, unless you're already low on HP, but greasiness can be annoying. I think greasiness makes it so you, like, randomly drop your weapon or something like that. Like I said, it's been a little while since I cruised through the game last. We've got a zombie over there getting eaten by a slime. Hopefully doing... Oh, there's 2 of them. Jesus, that's super bad. Well, Rolf didn't make it, unfortunately. I will take his gold. I know it's what his wife and family would have wanted. They would have wanted me to have this gold off a dead man. A scroll of detect food, not that helpful. Troll's blood might be helpful right now. Let me crack off a troll's blood spell. Unfortunately, I fumbled it. There we go. Now I've got regeneration on me, so that'll help out a little bit. I can cast a light spell too. There we go. Just cast the light spell. And I should be able to have my shield out now so that I can block enemy attacks. We still haven't gotten completely and totally through this place, so I'd like to still have a look around. I mean, it's a healing fountain. 5 HP is better than no HP. Oh, I'm floating now. Nice. It gave me a floating mod, so I don't have to worry about water. If you're playing as an automaton, like if you're playing as a robot, you really want to have boots of... Oh, Christ. Well, that's not good. I'm on fire. Normally, so this was just bad luck, a worn magic sword. Oh, cool. It's a legendary sword. Hell yeah, I can't identify it yet, but I think that's Dernwyn or whatever. It said King Arthur's magical sword, which is usually Dernwyn, so... can I get... There we go. That'll help out a little bit. We also got, I think, some spellcasting level ups, so that'll help out. But that was bad luck taking place. I got a levitation spell on me, which is great if you're on a water level, unless you get lit on fire because you put out fire by jumping in water. So that was one of those situations that you can't really predict when it comes to playing games like this. Let's get him busted out of here. Would you like to be a party member? It looks like you've got some equipment, so I'll take it. What does that do? I don't know what that lever did. I didn't hear any noises or anything. If it did anything, it must have done something that's across the entire map. I'm going to eat my last food, and now I'm scared for my survival because I don't have any food right now. So, not the best. Inventory is also kind of bogged down with just a lot of stuff, like a lot of things. But we're kind of tapped out on food right now, so I don't really want to hold in place for too long. I need to get down to the next dungeon floor and see if we can find some food. Oh, it's a Minotaur dungeon. Great. Okay, well, the Daedalus Shrine's going to show us where the exit's at, so that's good for us. Let's just have a little sneaky peek. Oh, Christ. Fight for your life. I mean, it's a free level up. Please don't be a mimic. If you're a mimic, I will cry and scream and wet myself. Please don't be. We've got a worn magic staff and a worn sword right there. I'm going to pick them up just for the identification levels. We've also got a goblin over here. We're going to want to throw down with him because I need to start collecting capes. Unfortunately, Stella didn't make it in the face of this slime. There we go. Stella, did you have anything good on you? I did get a remove curse scroll, which is really good. Just in case we end up with something on us that has really good stats, but it's cursed. That might be an okay pickup. Moldy meat is not going to be helpful, though. Let's get to the... I got caught up over here. Moldy meat. Damn, I just need, like, real food. Can I have real food? We got a battle axe, a chef's hat, and some throwing knives right there. I'm going to take the throwing knives, and I'm not going to fight with that slime for right now because definitely don't want to go in there. Not excited about that prospect. That's another one of the branching paths that takes you to kind of like a hard mode level. I'd rather not. We're kind of barely hanging in there as it stands right now. And if I don't find some food, things are going to get a lot worse a lot quicker. What is that? A plumed cap. None of the stuff that they dropped was really great for me, but it will make backup equipment just in the off chance that I break something around here. Chef's hat gives me a chance to get meat from slain enemies. Oh, dude, Minotaur's here. Hold on, we gotta go. Alright. That was the growling, grumbly tummy of the Minotaur. Since I'm low on food, I'm gonna wear the chef's hat for a little bit just to get my meat levels up, because unfortunately my schmeat is very, very underwhelming right now. Like, we pack in modest schmeat, but nothing to write home about. Honestly, if I could find a food shop right now, that would be the best way to get on through. But as we're getting towards the ending parts of this video right here, this is, hands down, one of the best roguelikes on Steam. If you're into dungeon crawlers, if you're into King's Field, if you're into anything like Lunacid, if you're also into things like Caves of Cud, this is one of those games that just keeps giving and giving. Oh, fresh cheese. Nice, dude. At least I've got some kind of food I can eat now. This is one of those games that keeps giving, giving, giving. I don't want to go in there. That's a corrosive acid slime, and I don't want to lose my equipment. I'm not going in there. I refuse. You can't make me. It says that that did something, but the lever is inactive. That shouldn't shoot at me. Acid slime once again is kind of a terrible idea. But I think acid slimes are weak to magic. Oh, there's one over there too. Damn. Okay. Well. This is sort of an unfortunate situation that I'd rather not be dealing with. Luckily with the acid, with the dice roll, the acid, oh yeah. Use the towel. There we go. Got the acid off me with a towel. All of the towels in this dungeon obviously are acid resistant. There's a stag hood and a cape. I'm fishing for a cape of magic protection right now. It's what I really want. Those are both cursed. We don't want to put those on. I should probably grab another torch or two from over here as well. There we go. I'm just going to borrow those from you. Don't worry about it. Have fun living in darkness. Sinister booby trap. Torn spellbook's good, though. Maybe we'll get something we can add. And we've got a weapon shop over here. That might work out for me. There's also a fresh fish right there. Wait, hold on. Hey, Cloak of Magic Reflection. Good. Throw that over there. Detect food. I will... Oh, I can't learn it yet. Okay, I don't have high enough spellcasting skills. But that will be a useful spell. And we now have 2 foods. That keeps us alive a little bit longer than previously ascertained. Yeah, ignite that torch right there. Blessed torches have a much larger light radius, in case you were wondering. Throw that inside of there, and we do have a weapon shop over here. I might peruse their goodies. What kind of goodies you got inside of here, man? You got anything spicy? He's got a couple maces, but they're not made out of iron or steel. And we really only have skill in maces. So I guess I'll sell those. He will take Excalibur. He will take King Arthur's sword Dernwyn. $771 if you wanted to gamble on it. That might be kind of cool. He's got a mace right there. I guess I'll take that so that I have a backup weapon that at least shares my weapon proficiency. A scroll of repair. I will take the repair scroll, actually. I'll also take the healing potions, as many as you've got. Yeah. Then what we'll do is we will read that piece right there. And we will repair our iron mace. Hey, it was about to break, but now it's a +2 blessed iron mace with +7 damage. Hell yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping we'd be able to fish out. We ate some blessed cheese, which in my opinion is cotija. I think cotija is just the king of the cheeses. But we ate a blessed cheese, which should fill our stomach up all the way, I think. Oh no, I'm still hungry, never mind. Let's get... Where's that fish at? Didn't I pick up a fish? Where's a fish at? Did I not pick up the fish? I did not pick up the fish. Please don't be a cursed fish. If you're a cursed fish, it's going to be the worst. Alright, there we go. We're all nice and fed up. But if you are into dungeon crawling games, and you are into roguelikes that have a very fluid gameplay style backed up by a very rigid meta, that like, oh my god, I'm being eaten. I don't think he can cross water, though. Yeah, he can't cross water, so this is a much better place to get attacked by a mimic than previous floors we were on. But if you're looking for a game that has a lot of randomness, a lot of classes to play that all play kind of differently from one another, a lot of races that also play differently from one another on top of your class selection, a lot of rooms, a lot of things that can happen, a lot of randomness that can come up on your runs, but you're going to have the ability to offset a lot of it simply by nature of the fact that you're experienced with the game and you know what you're doing. This, in my opinion, is one of the best dungeon crawling RPGs / roguelikes on Steam. It's a very, very good one. You are depriving yourself if you're into those sorts of genres and then you just refuse to play this game because it's rad. It's really, really, really fun. And there's a lot of content here. Like, I don't want to spoil too much, but the dungeon we're going through right now is not the final dungeon. So I spent hours and hours and hours and hours getting my first victory in this game, only to find that your first victory is only the beginning as far as this game is concerned. There is more gameplay coming. And so anyways, is my magic reflection cloak okay? Okay, my magic reflection cloak is still kind of hanging in there. But my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we are fooling around with Barony, one of those games that's just the gift that keeps on giving. I think I got this game way back in the day on like Desura or something like that for rock bottom prices. Like, I don't even remember what I got this game for, but it was like super cheap back then. And the developers have continued supporting it for a really, really, really long time, and they just keep adding more content twice a year, dude. Every 6 months, they'll put out a beefy content patch that will have a whole bunch of new mechanics, a whole bunch of new things to fool around with, new dungeons, new places to dive at, new weapons, new equipment, new mechanics, and so keep an eye on it. Barony's great. My name is Splattercat, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, folks.